So in this video, I'm going to show you gut microbiome testing, show you a little bit of our process, and then help you better understand if gut microbiome testing is something that you should decide to do. First, we're going to connect you with a gut restoration dietitian so we can take in some information about what you're currently doing. And then we're going to be able to write you up nutritional intervention where we give you maybe pre and probiotics if you need them. I know there's a lot of push of pre and probiotics out there in the world, but you may not need them. You might just be missing certain foods. So the gut microbiome test is going to be able to tell us like how severely messed up is your gut microbiome. And some people's are worse than others. But the very first thing we're going to do is write you up an entire recommendation guide for the nutritional interventions that may need to be taken depending on the status of your gut microbiome. And then if you're into the nutritional genomics testing, you can see we have an example of a meal that meets 100% of your nutritional needs, which in this case, you may need 4,367.6 milligrams of potassium in a day. Might sound crazy, but it's better to have the accurate information so you never have to guess ever again what is actually right or wrong, because there's scientific information to be able to validate what is true. And truth is subjective. Each person is a little bit different. So we write you up an interpretation guide of your entire gut microbiome test. And if you also get the nutritional genomics, this allows us to recommend the specific food that you would need to re-inoculate. Because one food might be correct, but you may have a gene variant that requires you to need a different bit of nutrition. So we can give you the same food that's going to help with the gut microbiome, but it's going to be a little bit more calculated based on your genetics. And then we write you roughly a 30-page PDF of meal ideas because you need to know what to eat. And then not only are we going to write you meal ideas, we're going to show you exactly how to make those meals. So giving you the breakdown of your macronutrients, your micronutrients, giving you the meals, how to make the meals. And then we're also going to be give you a grocery shopping list as well. You're going to be able to see that here at the bottom. So we're trying to write the best possible diet plan that would be applicable based on your genetics and your gut microbiome if you decide to move forward with both. So this is going to be extremely comprehensive, giving you more information than you're going to know what to do with it. But that's why we connect you to a gut restoration dietitian so you can understand how to digest all of this information. Get it? Digest? It's not a good joke, is it? So the first thing on gut microbiome tests I'd like to bring to your attention are pathogens. So like illnesses, diseases, possible death. No, I'm totally kidding. Pathogens and dysbiosis. Some people have pathogens, some people don't have pathogens. So when I tell you that everybody is different, everybody is different. So before you decide to take random things on the internet that, hey, you need to cleanse your body from these things that you probably don't have, it's very important to have a test to understand if you do need them. So for instance, what you see here, somebody could have genuinely gotten these bacteria by wiping and touching their mouth with their hand. So some things are not always going to come from food. You may have touched a surface that had some feces on it and then touched your mouth. And then now that goes into your body and ends up in your gut microbiome, and then you end up getting sick. It's very real. So now becomes the most controversial opinion. Is it better to be vegan? Is it better to be one of the random names before the word diet? So this right here with pathogens, dysbiosis, and a very low alpha diversity, this is actually a vegan's gut microbiome who lives on an island and all of their food is grown and sourced naturally. And then you have somebody who is not a vegan with no pathogens and some basic dysbiosis. So when it comes to what diet is right for you or wrong for you, it all depends on who you are as a person. So this person right here has low GABA. We'll go into that. I'll explain that one to you. Indle production, something in the gut microbiome that needs to be balanced. And if it's not balanced, it could be mood issues, or it could be damage in your gut microbiome barrier. So if you've ever heard of leaky gut, about pathogens getting past your gut microbiome walls, they're very real. And then that could cause an inflammation storm in your body. There's a good book called An Elegant Defense. You can also check out the book called The Mind-Gut Connection. You can read a book called The Microbiome Diet. It's going to introduce you to a lot of foods I've never heard of before because they're not even sold at most grocery stores. So the first thing that you really want to ask yourself is which diet is actually accurate. And diets are based on information, not the internet tells you an avocado is good, because if you have CD36 gene variants that make your fat taste perception go up, yes, avocados are good for you. Another person's like, that tastes terrible. So diets are based on information. So we can see out of range functions in your gut microbiome. Here we have Gaba and indle, and I want to highlight these two specifically. So with Gaba production, you can see that we have somebody not producing any, somebody's balanced, somebody has none, and then somebody else is balanced. So once again, it's kind of subjective. So now some cool stuff about Gaba. If you have anxiety, a lot of people will choose to use Gaba as something to help with their anxiety. Could this help? Possibly, maybe. Could re-inoculating your gut microbiome and consuming foods to naturally produce GABA help? Yes, that's more of the ideal. If you read the Obesity Code by Dr. Jason Fung, or you start to get into books about mindset, they may mention higher glucose or too much sugar causing anxiety in the body. So GABA can also help with inflammatory conditions. So when you start to kind of think to yourself, do I need GABA? Do I produce GABA? Is my current diet causing anxiety? I actually just had a person in my TikTok live today. So this is actually my TikTok live. I am live all the time. So if you ever have any questions, you can probably hop over into live, ask some questions. I'll probably tell you to go to the website because we like to put all of our resources there for everybody so you can become fully educated on whatever process. And if you're watching this video, when you're on the website, you're going to see that there's a lot of educational resources down below, research papers, Google Qs, books, just so you can make informed decisions and you really understand what you're doing and why you're doing it. So you can see right here, somebody says, hey brother, I had a blood check due to your advice, switched up my diet and their anxiety's gone. So if you're missing specific nutrients in your body, that could be a reason that you're experiencing anxiety. And I just wanted to share with you an example from somebody that randomly popped in one of my TikTok lives that took the advice that we gave them and their anxiety went away. So by showing you that review, I hope it's okay to say that, yes, diet can definitely help with anxiety. So you can choose to take supplements, and a phrase that we have here is meditate or medicate, just because the decisions you make define you. So you can supplement something that you're missing, but you can also get it through natural sources. So if you're having difficulty sleeping, you're experiencing mood imbalances, we will definitely be able to consult on both. So the next thing we're going to look at is glutathione. And once again, there's many different things in your life that could cause problems with glutathione. Fasting impacts your glutathione. Drinking alcohol impacts your glutathione. And I can tell you specifically with this person right here, they were a faster that also drank alcohol, that had a very bad diet, which sounds like me growing up. I got into fasting, I still drank alcohol, and I had a bad diet. But I had no idea what glutathione was. So a very powerful antioxidant in your body. And if you're missing it, it's in your entire body. And a part of these tests, they're going to give you some additional information so you can have self-education, because patient compliance is one of the hardest things in the medical industry. Like, hey, please stop drinking soda or we're going to have to chop your legs off. And then a couple months later, these are real stories from doctors. Patient's back. We're going to have to chop your legs off now. Could have just stopped drinking soda. So patient compliance is very hard in the medical world. So educating a person so now they can be reminded of why they're doing what they're doing to reinforce what they're doing is key. Oh, and side note, if you for some reason, obviously talk to doctor, talk to your PCP, talk to somebody smarter than me, decide to supplement GABA and you don't have GABA production in your body at all and you are not eating foods that produce it, so you basically just don't have much in your body, it is one of the most interesting experiences that you will feel. You'll feel something run in your throat. First time I supplemented in my life, I was like, am I about to die? Definitely wasn't about to die, just definitely didn't have any in my body. So up next we have indle production, which needs to be balanced. So there is I don't have enough, I have too much. I have to have specific balance. So you can see right here, 0%, so not enough. Right here, too much. and then balanced and balanced. And a fun thing about indle is that too much could produce unwanted changes in your mood and your cognition. So now we have GABA that affects our mood and cognition. We have indle that affects our mood and cognition. We have powerful antioxidants in our body. And then insufficient indle could be gut barrier damage. So, through this test, we're going to be able to determine a lot of things about your mental status through the inoculation or dysbiosis in your gut microbiome. So, you can see just through this, some people have the balance, some people don't have the balance. And statistically speaking, if these things are out of balance, you are more likely to experience the negative side effects, which is why we created the phrase called mind your gut and you'll keep your mind, because your belly is your brain. And if you follow that information at all, this is definitely the test for you, because this is your first brain. Everything you're consuming is just sending neurological signals to your brain to be able to perceive reality itself. Like, you ever been lovesick before? Or you ever have a stomach ache and not feel like doing absolutely anything? It's all connected. So I can tell you that every single part of the gut microbiome test plays a specific role. So, after everything I've explained, there's going to be more information on the website. There's going to be guides that you can download that'll show you every little bit of the testing, just so you can answer some of the questions that you might still have. And then this is going to tell you a little bit about the outline, some cool little quotes about there's literally more bacteria living in your body than there are in the literal stars in the sky. So super crazy stuff. Then this is going to be a video that gives you some research, some Google cues, some books, just so you have a full understanding of gut health. And there's no gatekeeping information at all here. It's very reliant on what you believe you need. And I want you to have the education to understand what you need. And the big thing is you can't poop on your computer and get information. So you have to work with some medical testing. So at any moment in time, if you have any questions, you're going to be able to book a call at the very bottom. You can have a conversation. Please review the information on the website. And that's all I got for you. But remember one thing from this. Mind your gut and you keep your mind, because your belly is your brain. And I had a very bad diet growing up, and I didn't understand all of the issues that I had in my life until I became an adult and started to realize that my life was not like other people's lives. And I was suffering from things that other people weren't suffering from. So, like headaches, stomach aches, two common things that exist in our societies, two very easy things to solve. So, please check out all of the information. Thank you for watching this far. And yeah, if you feel like gut testing's right for you, feel free to book a call, have a conversation. We'd love to start writing the diet plan for the rest of your life. And we also do additional testing as well. So if you need the genomics, you need the blood. I just showed you somebody that got the blood testing that doesn't have anxiety anymore. So if anxiety cannot be created nor destroyed, only transferred from one form to another, which is energy not being able to be created nor destroyed, only transferred from one form to another. Think about re-inoculating your gut microbiome and going from an unhealthy life to a healthy life. It is absolutely insane, the differences of how your cognition functions when you begin to re-inoculate your gut microbiome health. So, hope to look forward to talking to you on the phone soon. Have a beautiful day, and if you need anything, you know where to find me. So, see you around. Bye.